This is 5.2, lesson 3. So for this lesson, again, we are going to be working on graphing systems of equations. Not in slope-intercept form. So for our first example here, is this one ready or not? Well, they both just have a y equals. So these are both ready to graph. Our first equation, our backup is 0, which means we begin our graph at 0. Our rise is 1, and our run is 2. So there's our new point. Again, we will continue this pattern. And make sure we go in both directions. And then our second equation, our y-intercept is 2. And we have a rise of 1 and a run of 1. Well, we know this is not really the direction we need to be going to find our y-intercept because we're getting farther away. So let's go the opposite direction. Be really careful right here at this point because it almost hits the line, but not quite. This is our point right here where they actually intersect. So be extremely careful with those points. So we're going to go ahead and connect these. And our point of intersection is going to be -4, -2. Our second example is this one ready or not? Well, neither equation at this time is ready. Okay, so let's start with changing our first one. 8x minus 4y equals 16. To get y by itself, we're going to subtract 8x on both sides. So we get -4y equals -8x plus 16. We'll divide everything by -4. So we have y equals -8 divided by -4 is a positive 2x. 16 divided by -4 is -4. And then our second equation, we are going to, again, get y by itself. So we're going to add 5x to both sides. So we get -5y equals 5x plus 5. Then we're going to divide everything by -5 so that we have y equals -1x minus 1. So in graphing our first equation here, we have a y-intercept of -4. Then we have a rise of 2 and a run of 1 to get our new point. So we'll continue this pattern. And then make sure we also go the opposite direction. And then connect all of our points. Then our second equation has a y-intercept of -1. And then our slope is also -1. So we're going to go down 1, right 1, which we can already tell what our point of intersection is. It led us right to it. So we're going to do just a few more points so it's easier to draw our line. And our intersection is at 1, -2. Okay, so we're going to flip it over to example 3. Is this one ready or not? And this one is not ready. So our first equation, we're going to change this to be a 9. Okay. and we are going to subtract 2x on both sides. So we have 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. We're going to divide everything by 3. So we get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. And then our second one, we're going to have 4x plus 6y equals 12. We're going to subtract 4x from both sides. So we get 6y equals negative 4x plus 12. And then we're going to divide everything by 6. So we get y equals, this simplifies to negative 2/3 x plus 2. So when we graph this first equation, our y-intercept's at positive 3. And we are going to move down to right 3 to get our second point, and again, we'll continue that pattern. 3. And then we'll go up to left 3. And then our second equation, our y-intercept is at positive 2. And this one we also go down 2 and right 3. So that almost leads us to the line, but if we continue this pattern, you're going to notice something about all of these points. And if I were to connect these two lines, we'll see that the lines are parallel. They never actually intersect. When they don't intersect, we talked about this a few sections ago, this is going to be a no solution. And then example 4, ready or not. This one is not ready, but it's only the second equation this time. To get y by itself, all we need to do is add 3x. So we get y equals 3x plus 6. So to graph our first equation up here, our y-intercept is at positive 6. And then our slope is a positive 6, which would mean that we normally go up 6 and right 1, but that doesn't fit. So we're going to go instead down 6, left 1, because that is the exact opposite of a positive 6. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing again. And then draw our line. And then our second one, I want you to notice that we also start at positive 6, but our slope is going to be a positive 3 over positive 1. Okay, so these, even though they have the same y-intercept, they are not going to be the same line. They're pretty close, but they're not quite. And when we continue that line, you can see that they're not quite the same. So our solution to this one is going to be 0, 6.